Hello and good afternoon, team. This is Eric in week three with early management theories. Before we dive in, let's go ahead into the brief overview. So, today we'll be discussing the teachings of Luther Gulick, Robert K. Merton, and Paul Appleby. And we will also apply the theories to modern day situations and see if those theories work today or if they need to be changed and or updated as well. So first and foremost, we have Luther Gulick. The sections that caught my attention were in page 105 and paragraph 105. So essentially, Luther Gulick to me was a lot of was about a lot of structure of authority, right? He was very interesting to learn about how he essentially created the acronym PAUSED Corp, which is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting and budgeting. Essentially, I believe a lot of his work, a lot of what he's done, that impact is still being used today. He did help create, in a way, what could be kind of known as the principles of administration, from my understanding. He believed and focused on many different things, but a few of them will be, and having one boss, right? He also believed in hierarchy, and then being able to have more of a span of control, and then also being able to divide the labor, right? Furthermore, he helped build a stronger leadership in government. He aided them in making a much more stronger, a much more tremendously systematic, made it more systematic, and essentially helped make a much more of a significantly and effective set of managerial team. And then this image right here is also in regards to Luther Gulick. And then furthermore, we have Merton. Merton was also interesting to learn about. Uh, Merton had a lot of areas of focus. Um, essentially, it was he believed how bureaucracy can become dysfunctional and how workers could be so they could be trained so much that it can also become dysfunctional, right? How workers can lose sight of the company goals, and that people are being trained so much that they can also lose flexibility, as well as possibly can be a bit more inefficient, and that also that policies may lead to a bit more negative and unexpected outcomes, and that social pressure inside the jobs, and also social pressure inside the jobs can create a bit more difficulty and much more of a burden, and that also how theory should be grounded in observation and facts. So Merton did have a lot, and then followed by him we have Applebee's. And the page I found information on was on page 122. Essentially, what Appleby, his influence was great. His influence was strong. He was known for many things, but one strong aspect is how he helped shape a lot of the government process. For example, accountability, ethics, and also inefficiency. He also believed that how government and businesses should be kind of the separate entities. And he helped unify ethics and administration, as well as code of conduct and ethic training. He's important because he made a strong impact of bureaucracy responsibility. He helped create much more of a balance, and a lot of that's still being utilized today. So now, the question is, one of the question is if that still works today, and or if it still needs to be updated or changed. Well, in my thoughts, I do believe a lot of that is still being used today. A lot of that are the core principles. A lot of that is the foundation of how many organizations have their work practices, have their policies, have those benefits set in place for employees. I do think a lot of that is still being used today. It's very relevant. However, I do believe there are updates and changes to be made. One thing that is the only thing that is guaranteed are changes. Unfortunately, if a lot of the workflows did still remain as they were in the 1800s during their time, it would not be how it is today. And the reason as to why is because there's a lot more diversity in the workplace today. We have a lot more religion. There's a lot more collaboration. There's a lot more human rights that have been implemented. That a lot of that have been implemented in a lot of work environments. There's new bills that are being passed. So I do believe much of their work is still being used today. I do believe that there are updates that need to be applied, but nevertheless, a lot of their core principles and foundations is what allowed many organizations to be how they are today. And thank you all for taking the time and listening, and hope you enjoyed.